Montana in 2010 as the head coach at Butte at the College of Montana Tech. Coach Green had coached for 24 seasons. He had coached for 40 years, and he was the head coach at Montana Tech for 24 of those. He's renowned for greenies. He tells some of the best one-line directions for kids and coaches that you will ever hear. One of them he has right in his little introduction. He said, when I came there, Tech had only won 152 games and had lost 272. I did want to point out I did play for Tech for 2 of those losing seasons before I went to Western. And was excited when Coach Green came and really helped turn that program around. He was a Frontier Conference champion or runner-up for 16 years. He played for the very first NAI national championship for the Frontier Conference. He was the first coach to lead Montana Tech to the national championship game. One thing about Coach Green, he emphasized education for his football players. He had 95% of Coach Green's players graduated from Montana Tech. And if you know anything about Montana Tech's curriculum, you would be amazed that you're graduating in things like petroleum engineering and programs that are way above why I was there, which was to basically play football. So I was excited about that opportunity and the job he's done. Coach Green played defensive back for 4 years for Kearney, Nebraska. When I went to Baker, I had to hear about Nebraska, Kearney, Nebraska every day because all the coaches had come from Nebraska that were there when I got there. He also was at the University of Northern Colorado at Northwest Missouri State University. Recently, Bob Green retired as the developmental officer for the Montana Tech Foundation. His duties included outreach with corporations and individuals through the country in advancing Montana Tech. And if you know anything about Montana Tech's endowment fund, it is amazing the amount of money that they have raised for that institution. Finally, Coach Green continues to give. When we asked him, this is his second time to address this group. When we asked him to do it, he just could not wait. He was excited. It does help that he has a grandson here and was willing to step forward and help us be the speaker for this, which is, I believe, I added these up and came up with a number for how many of these little Sullivan awards there are. This is like 57, 58. Started in 1956. There was a period of time when it was pretty inactive from the very first one. And since 1965, it's been very active. And some of the receivers of this award, just very quickly, if you know anything about Montana, just on the male side, Dean Kramerick, he was a boxer. He led the Great Falls program. He boxed professionally, was very, very successful. The most successful boxer from Montana who won this award was Marvin Campbell from Ronan. Phil Sanderson from here was an international weightlifter. He won the Pan Am Games twice, and so he's the only 2-time winner. Larry Kristoviak won this award. Mark Fellows, who played professional football, won this award. Todd Foster, another famous Montana boxer, was nominated and won this award. Then you get into the wrestling people. You have 2 NCAA Division I wrestling champions. Matt Ruppel, who wrestled for, I got to think now, Lehigh, and Bill Zadig, who wrestled for Iowa, are two of the NCAA Division I champions. That's quite an accomplishment to wrestle in Montana and to win the NC2As. Brandon Agam was the coach right now at Minnesota, and he was an NCAA state placer or a national placer for them. Dave Dickinson, everybody's heard of Dave. Dave was the winner of this award, and he was the quarterback at the University of Montana. Turk Lord and Tyler Emery, Turk Lord and got somebody else I want to say with Turk. Anyway, Turk Lord and Emmett Wilson both were 4-time NAIA national champions. And the list just goes on of great athletes who have won the award on the boys' side. And we've had several Olympians, including the most recent was Brian Wilson, who was a medal winner in mogul skiing. And Brian was in this year's Olympics. On the girls' side, the very first winner was Sigrid Laird. And that was the year that the Little Sullivan Award was introduced in Montana. It was designed to model the best athlete in the country, the James Sullivan Award, which is given every year. It used to be given every year in New York. Now it's given in Florida. Julie Brown was an infamous track runner and held all of the road racing records through her career. Pat Spurgeon was an Olympic gold medalist in shooting. Carla Swenson was an Olympic, and she's infamous for other stuff, but she was a triathlon who has her own place in Montana history. Shannon Kate, who was the coach of the University of Montana for the last several years, won this award. Lori Payne is now the head coach at Northern Arizona University. Aaron Popovich won 5 Olympic gold medals in the Paralympics. Heather McPhee was a medal in skiing. So, I mean, you just go on and you look at this list and you go, well, what's it about? Well, it's about recognizing the greatest athletes in perspective, and it really deals with, AAU and really who was the governing body at that time. So you'll see lots of swimmers, you'll see boxers, you'll see track people, and it just really was based on who was really the leaders in amateur athletics in Montana at that point, and they're the ones that led those nominations. I tried to figure this out. I've probably done this 40 years, being the MC for this. All the way back to 1987, I did my very first one of these, and it's been just such a great honor to meet all these athletes and to be exposed to what is available and what athletes from Montana and that live here can do and accomplish. I'm going to turn this over to Coach Green. He's going to do a lot better speaking than I ever will. And then after he's done, I'm going to tell my one joke. I'm saving it, Terry. You're up, Coach Green.
Great job. Might steal some water there. Well, good evening. It's an honor to be here. It is fun. Just like Mr. Bennett said, I'm a geriatric football coach, has been, worn out, old news, come around every once in a while, kind of like Halley's Comet, so it's a blast to be. Can everybody hear me? That's a deal. I remember you can make a fatal mistake on that. You young coaches and athletes think about that. I remember years and years ago, and we'd been at Tech for a while and won some games, and I was doing a football clinic. And, some of you have been to those football clinics, wrestling clinics. And so it's going pretty well. It's down in Jackpot, Nevada, and I'm going like crazy. I'm demonstrating them, showing how we're running the split reduction defense and how they can't block our Sam linebacker. And man, I'm hot. You're rolling, Sweat's coming out and the boogers. I'm going like crazy. But I observed, some of you coaches have maybe observed this too. It was a kind of a big, narrow room there in Jackpot, and probably about 200, 250 people there, and the front 50 or 60, man, they're paying attention. You know how that goes? They're watching. About the last 100 there in the back, and there were some refreshments there. You know how that goes? And so I overplayed my hand. I screwed the whole thing up. I mean, I'm going so good, and those guys in the front, and finally I made the fatal error, you know. Excuse me, can you all hear me in the back? They all said, no, we can't hear. Well, hell, everybody got up and went to the back. I was done. Speech over, man. I want to thank everyone connected with this. It's great to see people. I recognize some people from the wrestling scene. You know, my grandson wrestles. My son coaches in the junior program. Got to brag just one little bit of Grandpa bragging. Danny Green Jr., Bubba Green, is a 5-time Triple Crown winner. He won it again in the 7th grade this year. It's a thrill to watch him. He inherited none of that from me. I did not wrestle. You can tell I was a hell of a basketball player. Basketball coaches drive me nuts. You know, they, of course, I played, you know, and I shot it every time I got it. Isn't that how you win the game? You get more points, right? So he said, well, you got to be open. I said, Coach, man, I'm open. I shot it. I'd rather pass a kidney stone than a basketball. I'd fake to the open man and shoot. That thing went up. But anyway, very proud of Bubba. It's good to see you all. And I think not only recognizing the athletes is very important, I think it's very important to recognize the coaches, the officials, the administrators, the people that make the thing go. It's really gratifying for me to be here, to be with you all that are dedicated to these sports. You know, I had the great good fortune. I spent 40 years in coaching at 4 universities and 2 high schools. Had a great time everywhere. I'm a little different than some old coaches. They'll say, I served time at that place, or that was a hole, or something. I liked them all. Liked them all. Tech was the best. I enjoyed that. That's the only place I was a head college coach. And I had a blast. It was great to work with enthusiastic, young, energized, curious, eager young people, like these young people. It was a blast. I had an absolute blast. Now, you get asked, when you coach that long, have kids changed? Well, yeah, they've changed. The world has changed. Yeah, they changed, man. I did it for 40 years. If anybody ever did a segment in coaching in their career that saw bigger change, when I entered the college football industry many, many years ago, it was essentially an unregulated industry. Now it's incredibly highly regulated. These athletes will tell you that. That's okay. That's the way it is. You have to adjust. There's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing bad. You know, you hear people talk about the good old days. Young people, they talk about the good. I was there for the good old days. Hell, they weren't that good, man. So don't buy all that stuff in the good old days. Change is good. But young people do know one thing. They figure out they're young and you're old. Now, they figured that out. I remember not long before I retired, been a few years, of course, now, and we're recruiting a young man from Great Falls, C.M. Russell, good football player. We did not win all those games because I was a real good coach. We had good players. That's how we won games. We had good. Now, I didn't have a lot of stuff figured out. I'm not like a lot of coaches. I knew I made mistakes. I told the player, but I always knew if you had good players, you had a chance to win games. And anyway, so we're recruiting this young man, and I mean, he, you know, offensive lineman, 6'4", about 270, 280, so he get a little bigger, you know. 32 ACT, kind of guys we want to take. Man, I'd have laid in front of his pickup so he couldn't go home to sign him. We got to sign this kid. He's coming. All he wants to do is do the right thing, you know. But he's got his cell phone. He's hitting on that, and he's got the square deal they have. My grandkids use the tablet, man. All that stuff. You know, I adjusted and everything, but I kind of wondered about that, you know. But anyway, he's smart. We're going back there, and we're looking kind of in the football complex at the trophy case. Okay, nice trophy case there. Got trophies from way back when I coached and before and all those things. Anyway, there's an old ticket there. It said Mines versus Idaho, November 11th, 1922. Clark's Park, Butte, Montana. You know, we used to be Montana School of Mines, and they're playing Idaho. It's a relic there, kind of a real a nice thing to have, museum-type piece. And this kid's going back. 32 ACT. By the way, he did play for us. He's a good player. And anyway, he's looking at that, and he's looking at his cell phone, and he's looking at his tablet. He said, Coach, that's really cool. Mines versus Idaho, November 11th, 1922. Did you coach in that game? I said, no, Trevor, I missed that one. These outstanding athletes have accomplished much. We're here to recognize them. And their participation has given them and us gifts. And when I think about this, I think about the gifts that this participation, that their athletic participation, that the world of athletics, all sports, has. I want to enumerate one or two of those gifts. The first of these gifts is the ability to try hard. The ability to try hard, to absolutely get after it. I'm not talking about trying to get by. I'm talking about trying hard, getting after it. And that is such a beautiful gift. That will serve all of you all well in your lives. Because you can go, giving your absolute best. That's a treasure. Because you know, in sports and athletics, there's no set-up deal, is there? You know, the other team's pretty good. I'll never forget, at Tech years ago, we had a great guy, a wonderful booster. And, of course, I've been there so long, a bunch of them are dead, you know, now. But he was a great guy. And he'd always tell me, you know, Coach, we do the Monday deal where everybody get together and you do the quarterback deal. And it started out with film, then it was video, then it was computer, you know, and you'd show them the stuff. And they said, Coach, you know, I'd ask for questions. Walt would ask a question every time, same question. I knew it was coming. And Walt said, you know, you're not very good returning kickoffs. I said, you know, Walt, we're leading the Frontier Conference. We're third in the nation. He said, well, you're not worth a shit. I said, okay, Walt, positive note. What do you think we do to get better? He said, when those guys are running down, why don't you just knock them all down? Those guys are pretty good coming down, aren't they, guys? They're pretty good athletes. You know, in other words, our guys are trying as hard as they could. They're competing, but so are those other guys. So again, that ability to try hard, to do your absolute level best, not just get by. We need more of that. That's what you all do. Another blessing, a gift that their participation has given these athletes is a positive attitude. We always coach with a positive attitude. People talk now about culture shifts. I'm not sure we knew that back in 1986, but we knew we were going to have positive production. We're going to tell guys they're good. Now, we coach hard, and we correct them, but we want to be positive. Positive production. I got the job in December 1986. Dave was talking about Tech, and, you know, you get a job for a reason. They were 0-10 the year before. So anyway, I can't wait, man. And I was lucky enough to have several jobs, but I'm a terrible interview. Terrible. I mean, we had a guy in there, our president was Lindsey Norman. So I go in there and I'm, same deal, just like in the clinic, the spit's coming out and I'm probably about that far from his face. I'm telling him how good we're going to be and how positive, and I can't wait to work with outstanding students. I've been at larger universities, not quite as good as students as Tech. And he goes, Coach, we have a wonderful engineering curriculum. And I said, I always loved trains. Well, anyway, they tried to hire 4 other guys. But anyway, I got the job. So we get in there, and, you know, the thing about a positive attitude, you take over a team that has lost, especially if they're 32 ACTs, they know they're bad, right? They got that figured out. We had to tell them they were good. They had a chance. So, man, it's the first meeting, and I'm down there with those guys, and again, I'm a young coach, and we had a good meeting. It's a good meeting. They were all paying attention. It wasn't like the clinic. And these young men are there. We didn't have a ton of spring ball, probably about 75 of them, but good meeting down there. And they want to win, and they're in. I said, okay, man, I'm here now. I'm with you. I'd met a few of them in the visit, but this first time, you know, school has started, second semester or whatever, January 15th. And they're there. And I'm talking to them. I said, you know, man, I'm with you. We can work together. We can get this thing done. I can't wait. I can't wait to work with you all. But you were 0-10. But I was with you. I'm 0-10. We're all 0-10. That's unacceptable. What can we do? We can't be 0-10. You know, we got to work to improve. I'm looking for those things. Those kids are all fired up, and I'll never forget it. Kid named Niekert, O-lineman. I love O-lineman. I'm coming back as an O-lineman in my next life. Man, I am. Have to get a little bigger. But anyway, and he's fired up, and those kids are all fired up, and they're wonderful. I said, we can't be 0-10. What can we do? I'm looking for work and, you know, these things. He raised his hand. He jumps up, and he said, Coach, We got to schedule 9 games. He's 32 ACT, now he runs a company in North Carolina. He was right. Can't be 0-10. Schedule 9 games. Anyway, very few times have I been speechless. But that was it. All right, fellas, we'll see everybody at 6 in the morning. You know, strength guys will have you, and we'll be stretching and practice tomorrow. That was it. Shut up. But we worked hard with them. You know, we worked hard. We made progress, told them they can do things, positive reinforcement, worked hard, started to get positive self-images. A few years later, I don't know, about 3 years later this happened, 3 of our guys were going up to Canada. Now, this is before 9/11. Several of you have been up there. You know, you go through Eureka and you head up there on into Canada and British Columbia. And they had the ranger station there. Now, you know, and they're checking, and there's 3 of them. There's 2 in the front, 1 in the back. And the guy checks you. You know, do you have any ammunition? Do you have any weapons? Do you have any fruit? Do you have any whiskey? You know, all these things, they're checking you. So he's checking our 3 guys, and he goes, "Are you all Americans?" And Hansi said, "No, but 2 of us were first team All-Frontier Conference." So I was always, you know, I don't go to many movies. The movies I used to watch were on the bus. We'd be on the bus, either on the bus or on the bus going to get on the airplane or something. And the guys would play the movies. You know, I'm sure they still do that. You bet. So they got the movies on. You guys probably never even heard of this one. But that was me. I was positive. They'd play Waterboy. Everybody remember Waterboy? You know that? The Waterboy. It is a cool movie. Kind of makes fun of coaches, but that's okay. But anyway, Bobby Boucher, he's cool, and Coach is cool and everything. My favorite guy in there was the guy who shows up for a scene about every 15 minutes. "You can't do it." Remember that guy? That's the guy. You can't do it. Positive attitude. The third gift which competition has given you all is the gift of rules. That sounds kind of funny. But the gift of rules is important. Absolutely important. I see that with my grandkid. Following the rules of the game. And that is that it expands the discipline associated with your programs. The discipline associated with following the rules of the game. The discipline that's associated with being a team member. That is an incredible gift. Incredible. And that's going to follow you through your life. Follow you through your life. Because we say rules, and of course there's rules of the game, and you have to follow the rules of the game. But that discipline, that dedication, those gifts that are instilled in you are absolutely precious. Absolutely precious. And they'll follow you your whole life. They will. They will follow you your whole life. I know for me, for Bob Green, you know, 3 things have really influenced my life in terms of being disciplined, following the rules. I served in the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah! I've been married to Pam Green for 50 years. Pretty good disciplinarian. I'm living proof that a dictatorship's an effective form of government. And athletics. I'm telling you. Huge influence on me. And of the things I've talked about, it's a guy 72 years old, coached a lot of guys. Again, at 4 universities and 2 high schools. That's what those people come back and talk to you about. That's what those old players come back and talk to you about. Sure, national championship games, conference championship, big wins, big losses. Hey, we lost some too, you know. We did. But they'll come back and they'll talk to you about that. Hey, Coach, those things I learned, the discipline, the rules, those are what's important. And those relationships that builds. So congratulations. All of you are deserving. I think it's just great that we're gathering here. The enthusiasm in this room, it's a treat for an old coach to be here. So keep on going. Keep on going. Whatever happens next, you keep on going. You use those lessons. You use them. You stay right with them all the time. Try hard. Try hard. And that positive attitude. I used to tell the players I got a positive attitude. If I'd have been on the Titanic, I'd have said, "Don't worry, boys, we're only stopping for ice." and following the rules. Hey, thanks. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
With that said, I told you it'd be funny and loud. At this point, we're going to move into some service awards and some recognition of the wrestling people who have exceeded the expectations of their divisions. And it's important that we recognize that these kids have given their all to the sport. And with that said, I'm going to turn this over to Shane, who will basically introduce those people, who do the contribution awards, and then we'll get down to the real reason we're here, to recognize our great athletes.
Good evening. Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Coach Green. That was impressive. Thank you. We're going to be talking about that for a while, this group. First of all, this is kind of a special night. Some of you out there might not know why, but I'm going to tell you. 3 years ago, the Montana State AAU organization decided to make a girls' state tournament. We ran her 1 year, then we went into COVID, and then we came back and run her 2 other times. Since then, the High School Federation for Montana has entered the all-girls state high school tournament at the Metro along with the boys. Tonight we get to honor 4 female wrestlers, and I'm going to start with those ladies first. It's always been about the boys, and now we finally got the ladies that are deserving the outstanding wrestlers for their division. I'll read a little bit about each of them. I'll ask them to come up and get their award. And then if they want to take the mic, thank their coach, thank their parents, I will allow that. Our first outstanding wrestler from the West Division, Hyanna Halvorson of Flathead High School. Her parents, Chip and Dolly Halvorson, her record this year was 31-1 and is a one-time state champion and won the 2022 Quick Pin Award. Hyanna was team captain for 2021-2022 championship team. She's a National Honor Society member and a member of the student government. Hyanna is a placer in track and pole vault and is the homecoming princess and the DECA state qualifier. She volunteers for Special Olympics at Flathead and mentoring the younger students. Your outstanding West Division wrestler, Hyanna Halvorson. If somebody will be going back to Flathead or that area, I'll give them that award to give to them. Our next young lady, outstanding wrestler for South Central Division wrestler, Gracie Jones. Her parents, Kimberly and Bryson Jones. She started wrestling as a junior in high school, placed 3rd at state in 2021 and 2022. She is signed to go wrestle at Onapaka College in Roseburg, Oregon. She aspires to be a major in civil engineering. I introduce you guys the outstanding wrestler from South Central Division, Gracie Jones.
So I'm very appreciative for this award that I have received. I would like to thank my parents for being there every step of the way and my coaches for teaching me everything I know. Thank you.
Your Southeast Division Outstanding Girl Wrestler, Gretchen Donnelly. Her parents, Mike and Nicole, 3 brothers, Logan, Clayton, and Luke. 4.0 grade point average. Overall record, 55-18. First at state 2022, fourth at state 2021. Third place, Montana Open. Third place, Sydney Invite. First place, Glasgow Scotty Invite. Second place, Tom DeRose Tournament. Second place, Fergus Girls Tournament. All-American Iowa National 2022. She mentions that she found out from her coach her music taste consisted of mostly, get this right, Gretchen, Lizzo on the ride and Fergus for the girls tournament. She's involved with 4-H, FFA, BPA, cross country, track and field, honor society. Gretchen's volunteers for many areas, including Special Olympics, the Nile Livestock Show setup, greenhouse cleaning, and more. Your Southeast Division wrestler, Gretchen Donnelly.
I'd like to shout out to all the moms because it's Mother's Day tomorrow and they're our greatest supporters.
Your Northeast Division wrestler, Jasmine Gorder. Jasmine's the daughter of Chris and Philany Gorder. She has a brother, David, and 2 sisters, Candy and Callie. Jasmine has a 4.0 grade point average and has been a National Honor Society member for 3 years. In wrestling 2021-2022, Jasmine was undefeated with a record of 26-0. Placed first at the Shoto Classic Girls, first at Cutbank Invitational, and Outstanding Wrestler 2022. 2022 Girls State Champion at the High School Association, 2022 Montana State AAU Girls Champion, 2021 Montana High School Association Girls State Champion, AAU National Scholastic Duels All-American 11-2, 2020 AAU Montana Girls State Champion and Placer. She's a member of the AAU Montana Girls State AAU team. She's been a Montana Open Girls Champion and Placer, and a placer in the AAU Winter Youth Nationals. Jasmine has also participated in track and field, cross country, volleyball, and softball. She broke the popular school record in 2021 in the 800 meter. And she placed in cross country, all state, 11th place. Jasmine was student consul, president for 4 years, was 2019 Spartan Spirit finisher and Plains Warrior, first place team member. She volunteers at Wolf Point Pound Puppies, Poplar's Chamber of Commerce, Head Start Parade, Lady of the Lord's Church, Harvest Dinner, Church of Mardi Gras. She's earned her CNA certificate in March of 2022. Your outstanding Northeast Girls Wrestler, Jasmine Gorder.
I'd like to start off by thanking the AAU community for being so supportive and helping me grow in various ways. Wrestling has taught me so many different things, from discipline, perseverance, and the will to work hard. I know that wrestling has taught me lifelong lessons that I will reflect on for the rest of my life. One more thank you to my parents, my family, friends and coaches for helping me become a champion. I appreciate you guys so, so much. Thank you.
Pretty impressive young ladies there. I'm excited every year that our divisions get to pick those outstanding wrestlers. We move into the gentlemen. Our Southeast Division wrestler, Zach Valdez. Zach is a 4-time state high school placer, 5th freshman year, 5th sophomore year, 1st junior year, 1st senior year, 39-5 record his senior year. His plans are to wrestle for MSU-Northern. He's helped coach and referee many AAU tournaments. He's attended Fargo with our national team and with Team Montana to Disney duels. He works on this family ranch, and he's multiple-time winner of the AAU state tournament. Your outstanding Southeast Division wrestler, Zach Valdez.
All right, I'd like to thank my coaches for always being there and helping me whenever I have hard times, I guess, and that's my dad also, so that makes it a little easier. But thank you for this award.
Your outstanding boys wrestler from the West Division, Finn Nadew. Finn's career record is 140 and 21 losses. At the Tri-State, he finished 6th and 3rd place. The Judd Beck Tournament, 6th, 1st, and 2nd. The Best of the West, 2nd and 1st. The Pacific Northwest Challenge, 2nd place. The COVID Crush, 1st place. All-State, 2nd place, 2nd place, 2nd place, and 1st place. Western Regionals, 3rd place in freestyle and Greco, and 2nd at the National High School in Virginia Beach. Finn attended Fargo Nationals after his freshman and junior year, wrestled both freestyle and Greco for Team Montana. Finn is a 3-time varsity captain for Flathead High School and was voted outstanding freshman and outstanding wrestler his sophomore year and senior year of high school. Finn carries a 3.9 grade point average with honors and international bachelorette course. He's academic all-state all 4 years, is a National Honor Society member and a student council member. Finn also plays soccer, rugby, and was the captain for 2 years for the Flathead rugby team. He volunteered for his youth program as a coach and works in his community with the VFW as a volunteer and is after-school tutor at the Hedges Elementary School. His principal states, "I've known Finn for 10 years and I've seen him grow into an outstanding young man with great college academic and wrestling ability." Your outstanding West Division wrestler, Finn Nadew. Your Southeast Division outstanding wrestler, Gabe Walker. Gabe Walker of Custer County High School, Miles City. Gabe is the son of Mike and Donette Walker and has 2 brothers and 4 sisters. His career record, 121 and 59. Most improved wrestler for 2019 and 20. Most inspirational for 20 and 21, and MVP for the 2021-22 season. 2nd at Greco State Championship, 2nd at Freestyle State Championship at state, and 4th and 2nd state championships. 2-time Montana Open champion, silver medalist in Iowa, and AAU All-American, and has competed at Fargo Nationals. His most memorable wrestling moment is watching his teammate make it to the finals against him, and winning a state championship against his teammate. He enjoys coaching little kids at tournaments, and he loves that kids look up to him, and they are happy every time to see him. He has played football for 3 years and club volleyball. He volunteers as a coach for AAU and volunteer softball manager for 2021 and 2022. Your Southeast Division wrestler, outstanding, Gabe Walker.
Gonna keep it short. I'd like to thank my parents for always supporting me, no matter what I wanted to do. Also my coaches for supporting me, opening the room, keeping it open for year-round. Helped me be the man I am today. Thank you.
Your South Central outstanding wrestler, Drake Rhodes. Drake Rhodes of Billings West High and Team Champs Wrestling Club. Drake's parents are Scott and Hyanna Rhodes. In school, Drake carries a 3.4 grade point average. He has a career record of 134-7. Career takedowns are 94, and he has 89% bonus point victories. He is a 3-time AA state champion, a 4-time AA finalist, and a 3-time USAW All-American. Drake's most memorable wrestling moment is winning a state title his freshman year, as his brother won his 3rd state title that same year. Your outstanding wrestler from South Central Division, Drake Rhodes.
I would just like to thank my parents and all my coaches and my teammates for helping me get here, because I couldn't get here without them. Thank you.
Your Northeast Division wrestler, outstanding, Aiden Graves. Aiden Graves' parents are Tyrell and Aaron Graves, and he has 3 brothers, Ethan, Cade, and Reese. In school, he carries a 3.4 grade point average. Aiden's win-loss record is 189-13. Career takedowns, 295. Career pins, 122. Near falls, 58. Near falls for 3 points, 102. Aiden is a 4-time Eastern A Division champion, a 4-time Class A state champion, National High School Virginia Beach All-American. He's been the 406 Sports Athlete of the Month and of the Week. He is a 2-time Bismarck Rotary champion, a 2-time Rocky Mountain National champion, AAU Winter National champion, 6-time AAU All-American, Disney Scholastic Duels gold medalist, 2-time silver medalist, 2-time bronze medalist, 1-time copper medalist, 2-time AAU All-American in Iowa with a 1-time gold medalist and 1-time bronze medalist in Iowa. Aiden's most memorable wrestling moment is winning his 4th state high school championship and his 5th team state title championship for Sydney. Aiden participated in football for 4 years and is all-state running back, all-conference strong safety for 2 years. He's been in track for 4 years, placing 2nd at state in pole vault, and is 2nd-year National Honor Society member. Aiden volunteers as a coach and a referee in Sydney's AAU wrestling club. He's helped referee and worked the chains for 5th grade, 6th grade football, as well as junior high games. He has completed numerous service projects with his church, his youth group, and Boy Scouts of America. Your Northeast Outstanding Wrestler, Aiden Graves.
To start, I'd like to, I'm extremely thankful for being selected for this award, and I'd like to thank AAU and Montana Wrestling for all the opportunities it's given me, and then thank my parents and my coaches and the community of Sydney. Thank you.
Thank you, and good luck to those wrestlers, female and boys.
So now we come to my favorite part of this day. After 48 years, we're going to let Walt give away his presents. And for 48 years, I want you to know I've stood up here and I've never won anything, ever. One time, I had 10 tickets that he didn't know I had, and I still didn't win. But you all have white tickets, and Walt's going to give these out, and then we're going to get to you folks. And I really appreciate your patience and being here with us, and I want you to know we've got a great presentation of your life coming up. And so we're just going to have some fun. I'm going to cry a little bit. I'm going to tell you my joke right now. So everybody knows Terry Williams and I have been friends since probably 1981 when he said, "What about this and what about that? And what about this as an official?" And I said, "See this whistle? See you on Saturday. We got a job for you." And that's how Terry and I became friends. And then the other part with Terry is that he's become a pretty good golfer, but he really didn't know how to golf. So we'd go golf with Coach. You'll like this story. You know what he did? He'd hit the ball, then he'd go out and tee it up again in the middle of the fairway and hit it again. And he would do that till he got to the green after 8 times, and he finally would try to putt it in with the tee. Anyway, so when I go to Sydney, I always stay with Terry and Luann, and that's been for many, many years. And we'd go out, we have a good time, we drink some beer, we hang out, 2 o'clock in the morning, we get home. And every time we get there, Luann's sitting there with the broom. And I go, I don't know what that's all about. So last time we were there, Luann's at the door with the broom, and Terry says, "Oh, are you cleaning today, or are you planning on going out?" That's my one joke for this whole thing. Walt, I'll turn this over to you. Come up here and draw some numbers. And at this point, I'm going to turn this program over. You're done now. You didn't give me a winner. Sit down. Jesus. How many times do you want to embarrass me up here? 48 years you've done this to me. Next year. I'm going to turn this program over to Rich Melby. He is a sports announcer in Montana, has done a great, great job of recognizing and has put together a great program to honor these athletes. So, Rich, it's your program.
Jeez, Dave, what the heck, man?
I'm short, too. Quit it.
I'm not talking. I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on here.
I keep hoping I'll get my number drawn if I change my looks.
Well, I want to thank you guys for having me back for another year. I know Janelle and Mike keep asking people across the state and keep getting turned down, so you're stuck with me one more time. But I learned something tonight, and it's that I never want to have to go after this guy. They said that Coach Green was going to be up here and was going to be the guest speaker, and I thought about starting off with a Greenism, and then thought, there's no way in hell I'm going to try and upend him on his own jokes. He's going to tackle me right here on stage. So we're going to skip that completely, and we're going to go honor all 8 of the finalists, including the 3 that are here and the one whose father could be here on behalf of her tonight. It's important to note that we've got this much real estate on a screen and only so much time to chat about these guys. I started typing the accolades for the first finalist. I think it was actually Carley, and then about 4 pages later realized, oh my gosh, we've got to shorten these things up a little bit. So That just tells you the qualifications, the accolades, the achievements, academic, character, leadership, mentorship, everything that AAU means. And one more time, just kind of want to read what this little Sullivan Award is all about. It was created by the late David and Ella Ravines of Miles City. David, of course, served as the AAU national president. They held numerous positions within the Montana AAU and the Miles City sports communities. The Ravines family created this little Sullivan Award to honor the outstanding male and female athletes in the Treasure State that display the qualities, and this is the important part, the qualities of athletic excellence, obviously. Throw in leadership, character, sportsmanship, ideals of amateurism, and you get these 3 great young ones sitting here tonight and the other 5 that are out there that we're going to honor. So with that being said, let's jump straight into the female finalists in alphabetical order. Your first female finalist is Lucy Corbett of Bozeman and Montana State Track and Field. Get this, Lucy, who's one of the top high jumpers in the nation right now, spent 1 year on the high school track and field team at Bozeman High School, where she earned all-state honors, also in the jumps, the long jump. Off to college, conference, and national all-academic selections. There's that academic word again. She also works as a hospital volunteer and a nurse's aide in Bozeman, deaconess, if I remember correctly. She's a multiple-time now Big Sky Conference high jump champion. She holds the Montana State indoor and outdoor high jump records. Remember, she's been doing this about 4 years. And she competed at the U.S. Olympic trials. Now, I get the chance to cover these athletes and follow some of those accolades, but there's people out here that know these guys better than I do. So this year, we're adding a nice, fun little twist and letting some of these guys chat about them.
Lucy's accolades at the Division I level speak for themselves at this point. She's a 2-time All-American in a sport which she's fairly new to, having started just a few years ago. Lucy already has one of the most decorated careers in the Bobcat track and field program's history, with 4 gold medals in the high jump and a bronze in the long jump. Lucy's results may be impressive, but she's also a standout in life. Her teammates and coaches all appreciate the type of person she is around them and the way she carries herself. She's also a high-level student in the classroom with a near 4.0 GPA, and she's another Bobcat that's just striving to help others in her professional career outside of athletics in the medical field, which is something that's truly admirable.
It is my honor to introduce you guys to Lucy Corbett. I spent the last 4 years with her here at MSU, where I've got to know her as an athlete and as a person. In 3 years of competition, Lucy has become a 2-time All-American, competed at the Olympic trials, recently qualified for USA Nationals, set an all-time Big Sky conference record while setting 2 school records and earning multiple other awards. In the last year, Lucy has the 6th best all-time jump in the United States. She also earned the Big Sky Conference Meet MVP. On top of this, Lucy volunteers at the hospital throughout the season while also volunteering at camps, Little Bobcat Track, and other team and community service projects. What is often missed is Lucy's humble nature and hard work that she puts in during practice, where she oftentimes has to spend extra time working PT and helping out her fellow athletes. Her caring nature resonates throughout the entire team, and she makes us Bobcats even better.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first female finalist is Lucy Corbett. Your second female finalist this evening, Nicole Heberlin from USA Rugby. Nicole got started in rugby at age 15, but she was also a great basketball player, and originally that's where her love lied. In fact, she earned a basketball scholarship at Army West Point, which eventually she would transition over to rugby, and it was a good career choice. She was a U.S. Military Academy All-American, and she's also a kinesiology major, and I know she's got multiple yoga certifications so far, and she's still chasing more. She made her USA Rugby debut in 2015-2016, Team USA Reserve at the 2016 Olympic Games, and she helped Team USA to a 6th place finish at the Tokyo Games in the women's 7. She had 22 points scored throughout all that. She's got big life aspirations, still playing this rugby right now as the career, but afterwards, as mentioned, the yoga, and one of her best friends and teammates had a chance to chat about just that.
I think that what's so amazing about Nicole is that her want and desire to be her best self in whatever she does. So whether it's rugby, whether it's just being a person in general, or whether it's she took on yoga and she's become a yoga instructor, whatever it is, Nicole wants to give her all to it. And she wants to be not just better than people, she wants to be her best self. I would say Nicole is a leader who she leads by example. Everyone sees how hard she works and all of the time and energy she puts into rugby, and to just being the best athlete she can. And it just kind of makes everyone want to be better as well. It makes everyone want to get fitter, get faster, learn the game more. She's always watching film. She's always doing extras. She's kicking. So she's a leader who I think people really just look towards for example. I would say she's just a insane role model. Like, she's somebody that I would have looked up to as a young girl as well. And I think it's so cool that young girls and young boys even have her to look up to as an athlete, as a person. She, loves to interact with whoever she can and meet those young athletes. And whenever she's in Montana, she's trying to, go and hang out and meet people and, show people that this is something you can accomplish. But just to show that you could be from a small town in Montana and yet you can achieve these amazing things. She wants to know people and she wants to put herself in a great position to excel and to succeed in life. And, I just said she got her yoga and certification, and she was like, she got it. She's like, no, I want to do more. I want to go get this one, and I want to get this certification. So it's just cool to see her always strive for more. I would say that Nicole is someone who makes you feel good about yourself, and she never judges. She's one of the kindest people I have ever met. And honestly, it gets tough being your best friend sometimes because she is just so amazing at everything she does. She's beautiful, strong, confident, kind. I would just tell them that there's no one else who will bring a team together and show them what hard work is.
Ladies and gentlemen, your second female finalist is Nicole Heverland. Your third female finalist is here with us this evening, Carley VonHeeder out of Plains and the Montana State track and field team. Carley's story was one of the impressive ones. She started at Plains High School, was a two-time state javelin champion, freshman year and junior year, is that correct? Finishing runner-up as a senior to a teammate, if I remember correctly. We're going to go in the parking lot and redo that after this. Carley was well committed in high school. She was a member of the National Honor Society, and that's where she got some of her leadership skills moving forward. Moving into college, a conference, and a national all-academic selection. Volunteered at the Bozeman Help Center, taking on crisis, suicide, and referral lines, working some phones. She was the Big Sky Conference Javelin Champion and was named the Big Sky Conference Women's Outstanding Field Performer. Oh, and by the way, in that javelin, she's Montana State school record holder, 173.10. We'll beat that in the parking lot later tonight. She also finished 16th at the U.S. Olympic team trials. She's currently pursuing her master's degree in counseling, and I believe I saw began taking clients earlier this year. Already getting out into the world. Here's Andrew again chatting about Carley.
Carley epitomized what it meant to be a Montana State student athlete, both in and out of competition. As a Division I athlete, she strived and improved every single year of her career as a Bobcat. She developed into the caliber of athlete that was able to set a new school record in the javelin. She advanced to 4 NCAA regional championships. She earned a Big Sky Conference title and qualified for the U.S. Olympic trials. But what had her stand out amongst her peers is her character. She was always a positive influence for the program, whether she was helping out during indoor season with throwing events she didn't participate in, whether she was talking with media members for me about her individual or team success, or just striking up a conversation with a volunteer at a random meet. Carley is somebody that can communicate well with any person in all areas of life, which is a reason why she'll be great as she continues her next step helping others in her professional life as well.
It's my honor to introduce Carley VonHeeder as her track coach at MSU for 5 years. A lot of great memories, a lot of great times with Carley. Some of my favorite things come from practice, but there was also those moments of watching her compete, her walking out on the track for the Olympic trials, and seeing her represent herself, Montana State University, Montana, and her hometown of Plains was just incredible. I think the biggest thing about Carley is watching her growth over the years, watching her find her niche within counseling and what she's pursuing now, and watching her grow as a leader of her teammates and what she brought to our program. Couldn't be more proud of Carley. She is very deserving of this recognition, and nothing but love for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third female finalist here with us this evening, Carley VonHeeder. Your fourth and final female finalist this evening is Alison Weisz, out of Belgrade and Team USA Shooting, an elite sports shooter. She joined shooting sports through a gun safety and education program at 9 years old, shocking her dad, I learned earlier this evening. He thought he was taking her to a routine hunter safety course or something, it sounded like. Next thing he knows, they're giving her a rifle downstairs and letting her loose at 9 years old. Turned out to be a pretty good decision. From 2009 to 2012, she was the Montana Junior Olympic shooting champion. She earned bronze at the 2012 American Legion Junior Air Rifle, and heading off to college, she was the first freshman at Ole Miss to qualify for the NCAA championships, where she earned a championship in 2017, 2019, and now the international championships are starting to go on, a long ways as well. In fact, she earned a gold medal at the 2019 Pan Am Games. And as you've probably seen, she was a participant of the Tokyo Games, finishing 14th in the 10-meter air rifle and 6th in the 10-meter air rifle mixed team. And she's already set her sights on 2024. To go over more of these accolades and chat more about Allie, here's Gallatin Valley Sharpshooters Lee Nelson.
Allie, congratulations on your nomination as a finalist for the Montana AAU and Little Sullivan Awards. Allie Weisz started competing at 9 years old with the Gallatin Valley Sharpshooters BB gun safety and shooting program. At 11 years old, she started competing in precision air rifle. She was the Montana State Junior Olympic champion in 2009, 2011, and 2012. She was the National Junior Olympic champion in the J3 class in 2009. She placed third nationally in J2 air rifle in 2012 and 10th overall in the nation. She was second at the Montana Smallbore Junior Olympic Championships in 2012. She placed first at the Montana 3-position Air Rifle Championships in 2010, 2011, and 2012. She was a dual sport athlete in high school, competing in both volleyball and competitive rifle. Allie was a National Honor Society member. She earned a scholarship from Ole Miss to compete for their rifle team in 2013. At Ole Miss, she became the first freshman to qualify for the NCAA championships, placing 16th in air rifle. She was the first freshman to earn all GARC honors and was named Collegiate Coaches Association Academic All-American. As a sophomore, she qualified for the NCAA championships in small bore. She set the school record in small bore, received the Most Valuable and Scholar Athlete Awards, earned CRCA Scholastic All-American honors. She was named to the SEC Academic Honor Roll and made the Chancellor's Honor Roll. As a junior, she earned second team All-American, became the 5th All-American in program history, and placed third at the NCAA Championships and third at the GARC Championships. She was named CRCA Scholastic All-American. In 2016 and 2017, as a senior, she placed first at the USA Shooting National Championships, earning a spot on the U.S. National Rifle Team. She was second team All-American. It was her 4th consecutive year qualifying for the NCAA Championships. She took third in air rifle at the GARC Championship. She was named second team All-Conference, CRCA Scholastic All-American, and was on the SEC Winter Academic Honor Roll. In 2018, she was a World Championship team member, a CAT Games team member, and silver medalist in air rifle. In 2019, she was H&N Cup bronze medalist and won her 2nd national championship. She earned a spot on the U.S. Olympic rifle team and was gold medalist in air rifle at the Pan American Games. She competed at the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, placing 14th in air rifle and 6th place in mixed teams air rifle. In 2021, Allie took 2 silver medals at the World Cup New Delhi, 1 in 10-meter air rifle and 1 in mixed teams air rifle. This year, she has placed 2nd in air rifle at World Cup Cairo. Allie continues to shoot nationally and internationally. She is currently an instructor member for the U.S. Army Marksmanship Unit. Again, congratulations.
You saw there, Allie joined the Army. She's a licensed dietitian, and I believe, was it just this last week, was out at the White House with members of the Olympic team within the last couple of weeks. So she was just last week out at the White House with members of the Olympic teams. There you go, your 4th and final female finalist is Allie Weisz. You can see the challenge of trying to fit so much on the screen when the list just keeps growing for all of these athletes. And so it's my honor tonight to introduce the female award winner for the 2022 Montana Little Sullivan Award, Allie Weisz. And Allie's dad, Dave, is here. And if I'm understanding from a text from Allie earlier tonight, he's got a few words to say on her behalf, which he doesn't look real excited about. However, he was also telling me how much those guns cost when Allie was growing up. So now,
Someone else is paying.
your tax dollars at work.
Yeah. Now I got to find it in my phone here somewhere. I was not expecting this whatsoever. I don't know if she was. She would be here, although after being at the White House, they just got home 2 days ago, and Monday or Tuesday they leave for Spain for a World Cup there. So she's had very limited practice going on right now. So again, this is from her, not from me. When I read it, it kind of reads funny, being I'm reading it instead of her. What she sent me was, I want to start by thanking the Montana AAU for awarding the Little Sullivan Award. This is such a unique award to receive, and I am so honored to even be named a finalist among all finalists since 1955. Considering the caliber of my fellow nominees this year, I am humbled to receive this award. I am so proud to be able to represent the state of Montana on international stages. I wish I could be there for tonight's event, but duty and training calls as we prepare to leave for Spain Grand Prix next week. Again, thank you very much.
And now we'll move to the fellas. Once again in alphabetical order. We'll start off with the pride of Dillon, Montana State football's Troy Andersen. Troy was a 4-time academic all-state selection at Dillon's Beaverhead High School with a perfect 4.0 GPA, and one little mention that gets lost, he was the class valedictorian. He was an academic All-Big Sky Conference and an academic All-American at Montana State, where he was a National Scholar Athlete, and he was recently a finalist for the William V. Campbell Trophy. That highlights academics, community service, and on-field performance. He worked with Habitat for Humanity, even in Poland, volunteered at Bozeman schools, did youth camps, and also did some team impact work, working with a youth in Big Timber that was battling cancer. On the football field, he was named the Big Sky Conference Freshman of the Year. By my count, at least 5 All-American recognitions by multiple different publications over the years. He was the 2021 Big Sky Conference Defensive Player of the Year. He was the FCS Athletic Director Association Defensive Player of the Year. He was the Phil Steele Defensive Player of the Year. And he was the Buck Buchanan runner-up given to the best defender in FCS football. He was named to the 2022 Senior Bowl and had high hopes going into the NFL draft here recently. and as you've probably seen, was drafted number 58 overall by the Atlanta Falcons. That's why Troy Andersen can't be here tonight. Training is already underway. So here on his behalf, MSU's Bill Lamberty.
Yeah, I think Troy's football career is a pretty good reflection of the rest of his life too. He said in an interview once, I think he kind of thought of it as a throwaway line, but I remember him saying, if you're going to do something, why wouldn't you? So that kind of has been emblematic of everything he does. He not only is the guy who works as hard as anyone you'll ever see in practice and plays as hard as anyone and as competitive as anyone, but when there's a little kid at practice who maybe his parents brought out for a pick-me-up, which happens now and again, Troy's the guy who will always make time to go say hi. And when there's a volunteer opportunity, if there's any way he can do it, Troy's always going to do that. I know we've always heard from Troy's professors about what a great student he is. His GPA was almost 4.0. So yeah, Troy just is one of those people that has a knack of doing the right things and doing everything that he tries to do well. Yeah, I think Troy is a great representative for our state because he's what this state is all about. Down to earth, well rooted in where you're from, but also welcoming in his own way into his life and into his, into whatever he's doing, and personable, but not in a braggish sort of way. And I think Troy's a great representative for all the values that Montanans are proud of.
Did he get the handlebar mustache advice from you, or where'd that come from?
No, I think it was a tribute to the 1984 team, to the national championship team, because you always see the pictures of fellows and all those guys wearing those big mustaches, and I think that was the thinking there. And they also he was one of the guys that came up with the idea, as I understand it, to wear a bunch of the seniors and the Montana kids wore cowboy hats on all the road trips this year. So in the airport, if you were around, you saw those kids with cowboy hats on, and I think he was one of the ringleaders in that effort too. So he's got a pretty good idea of where he's going, but he's always had a really great idea of where he's coming from.
First of all, I'd just like to thank the Little Sullivan community and award group. Got a chance to research this a little bit when I was asked to talk for Troy, and very cool deal, very cool thing for him to be a part of. Was asked to talk a little bit about Troy. I kind of go back to my first impression of Troy. I was actually competing against him. I was coaching at the University of Idaho, and there was this big, tall, athletic quarterback that spent a good portion of a week just focusing on stopping him. How do we stop this guy from beating us? And felt like we had a really good plan going into the game, and ultimately ended up losing that one by a point, I believe. And a big reason why is 2 or 3 explosive plays from Troy Andersen, and that's when I kind of first got my first taste of, all right, don't underestimate this guy. He is capable of doing a lot of things, even though if they don't look pretty always, there's certainly the results are there. And then after having played him in 2018, got a chance to join the staff here at Montana State University, and part of that, with me getting here in 2019, would have been a move for Troy from quarterback to the linebacker room. So we were, kind of getting to know each other together as I got here, and obviously having coached against him, had a lot of respect for him. But that was when I really got a chance to learn more about Troy Andersen, the person, and not so much the football player. And I was blown away by just how dedicated he was to his craft, how his teammates gravitated towards him, and ultimately the results that he continued to get on the field because of everything that he was doing off the field as far as his hard work. Everybody sees the big, tall, athletic kid who scores touchdowns and has 150 tackles in a season. but what they don't get a chance to do is be around him on a daily basis. And I was fortunate enough for the last 3 years to be around him on a daily basis. And, his greatness rubs off on everybody. He holds everybody to a high standard. And I think that's a big reason why we've been able to have the success that we've been able to have around here for the last couple years is, not only Troy, but the leaders within this program holding everybody to a high standard, understanding what it takes to be great, but also putting in the hard work. And credit to Troy for being an excellent leader around here because he's certainly raised the bar as far as what's capable at this university in football, but really set a good path for the young guys in this program moving forward.
Ladies and gentlemen, your first male finalist, Montana State's Troy Andersen. Our second finalist here this evening is here to give Troy a run for his money in the facial hair department. I tried to get him to do a hair award, Matt, but they wouldn't let me. Logan's is clean cut, though, so he might have given you a good run for your money. I'm not sure. Matt Day of Dickinson State football. Matt was an all-conference and an all-state athlete at Sydney High School, both competing in track and field and football, but he was also a member of the varsity choir. In fact, he was a named outstanding senior choir member and a co-captain. Also had some good luck running at the district musical and state musical festivals. He was also a member of the Business Professionals of America, BPA, 3 times, went to national competitions, and in the volunteer department helped coach 4th, 5th, and 6th grade basketball, and if I remember correctly, was also licensed to be an MHSA referee. We need more of those. Come back, we need more of those. He was a participant in a selection in the Montana East-West Shrine Game. And then it was off to our neighbors to the east at Dickinson State, where he continued the extracurriculars. Choir, was a resident assistant, and maybe my favorite, the homecoming king. I was hoping you'd wear the crown tonight. 2-time All-American on the football field. He was named the 2021 Remington Award winner, which, if you're not aware, is given to the best center in the entire country for the NAIA. Maybe even better than that, he was named the Travis Lunda Award, which is the player that best embodies Dickinson State football both on and off the field. He graduated with a degree in exercise science and a minor in coaching, and I believe right now is chasing a doctorate in physical therapy. The education continues for this young man. Here to chat about Matt Day this evening is his head coach, Pete Stanton.
We couldn't be more happy for Matt and proud of what he's done and what he's accomplished in the time here. And I think the number one thing you look at with Matt is his leadership. He'd been a 3-year captain for us. We were fortunate that he came back to get an extra year with the COVID year. And he was a guy that, when we have recruits in and people coming in on campus, he made an impression on them, and he made an impression, throughout our program. And, he's very involved in things that we had on campus. He was a member of our choir and as a guy, he was a homecoming king, so just beyond the football field, and what Matt accomplished there was amazing. His personality, is infectious, and his attitude, there's just no bad days with Matt. I think that's really a big thing. And once again, just that leadership that he's going to have throughout his life. He's got the ability to lead people and to relate really well to people. And he's going to go do some great things for what he does down the road. And Matt just got it done on the field. He was a 3-time all-conference guy, and then in his junior year, which would have been his senior year before the COVID year, was a 2nd-team All-American, and then this year was a 1st-team All-American, and with the Remington Award with the top center in the NAI football. Going to Matt as well, very deserving of those accolades. And once again, he's a total package. He was a guy on the field as a captain that you could count on. He was a guy that was going to get it done on the field, but also going to lead people on the field. And he's very deserving of the accolades. And like I said, we couldn't be more proud of what he's accomplished. Matt's going to be one of the most dependable, genuine person that you would have. He's going to be a guy that's it's going to lead others. He's going to be a guy that's going to grab somebody in the corner of the office and help motivate them or take them to lunch and be that type of person. He's just selfless as far as his personality, and there's no ego at all. He's about the team, whether it's on the football field or off the field or whatever it is. He's a true team guy, and that's why he was going to be very successful.
Ladies and gentlemen, your second male finalist, Matt Day. Your third finalist couldn't be here this evening, but Nick Koontz out of Helena Capital and the Montana State University Northern wrestling team. Nick was a 3-time All-State selection at Capital High School, and he held their wins record when he left, 122-34. At MSU-Northern, he was a 5-time NAIA National Qualifier, a 2-time All-American, earning an 8th place finish in 2021, and as mentioned by Dave earlier, he was an NAIA National Champion in 2020. In 2020, he was also named the MontanaSports.com Male Athlete of the Year, and he's been an NAIA Scholar All-American. And one of the things that many people may not know about Nick is that he had to persevere both on and off the mats, as his head coach Tyson Thieveridge tells us.
Hey, Tyson Thieveridge here, Montana State University Northern head wrestling coach. I want to take a quick moment and congratulate Nick Koontz on being nominated for such a prestigious award as the Little Sullivan. During Nick's career at Northern, he racked up 116 wins. He was a 5-time national qualifier. 2020 shocked the country, not us, but shocked the country, becoming the 125-pound national champion in 2020. In the following year, 2021, took 8th. Ends his career at Northern as a 5-time national qualifier, 2-time All-American, the 33rd national champion in Northern's history. And the special thing about that moment in 2020 is Nick, after he won it, I shared a picture with Mr. Melby, that just a special moment between us two. We have such a special relationship. And I told Nick, this is something that can never be taken away from you. Whatever comes down the pipe here through life, you're always going to be a national champion, and nobody can take that from you. The reason that was such a special moment, and why his career was so special to me, Nick actually has a heart condition called ventricular tachycardia. You're going to have to excuse my pronunciation, but he dealt with this heart condition for every year he wrestled. And it's where the heart pumps too fast to get oxygenated blood to the body. And this would happen in matches. This would happen in practice. Anytime you get your cardio up, his heart would skip a beat, or it would start kind of like, it's weird. You could see it pounding on his chest. It's probably happening to him right now. But his heart would pump so fast, we'd have to calm it down. And he has a nice little strategy where he lays down, and he gets himself calmed down. But, that made Nick's career very special to me, that he was able to fight through stuff like that. He's a hell of a volunteer. He's a leader in our room. He's a 2-time captain. Might have been a 3-time captain, actually. I think he was a 3-time captain. But yeah, he's a leader in the room. He's not afraid to mentor the younger guys. He takes them under his wing. And the special thing, again, another special thing about Nick is he became the staple of what our lightweights, how we recruited our lightweights. He might be unassuming, tall, skinny kid, but he's a hell of a competitor. So again, congratulations, Nick Koontz, and a big congratulations on this weekend, graduating from college with a major in business and a minor in ag technology. So I am super proud of you. I wish I could be there with you. We love you. So take it easy. Enjoy the night. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, your third male finalist is Nick Koontz. Our fourth and final male finalist tonight, right here to my right, Logan Nelson out of Billings, hometown kid, and the University of Mary football team. At Billings Skyview, he was a 2-time all-conference selection, and a member of the 2015 state basketball championship. Is that correct? Yep. Yeah. Academic All-State selection in high school at Billings Skyview. Has there been one where we haven't announced an academic All-State, academic All-Conference? These kids plays into it. He earned an NCSA All-America honor. That recognizes athletes whose athletic accomplishments reflect their dedication to strength training and conditioning. And then comes the video game stats. Logan's the guy that those of us that played football video games, you create him and you push everything to his 100%. That's what this last season was for Logan. At the University of Mary, he also set the single-season passing record and the Northern Sun passing record, 3,742 yards and 41 touchdowns. He led the NCAA Division II with 337 passing yards per game, was third in total offense, third in passing yards, third in touchdowns. Video game numbers. He was also named to the Don Hanson NCAA Division II All-American selection, and maybe the most prestigious, the D2Football.com Elite 100 squad, which recognizes the top scholar athletes in the NCAA's Division II. Logan Nelson is going to try and continue on those video game numbers. I've been calling you the Aaron Rodgers of Division II football, if that's all right, for the past couple of days. Coach Bagnell said the same.
Yeah, I mean, Logan's a great guy. He's a valuable member of our program in more ways than just being the starting quarterback. Logan's an off-season captain for our off-season teams. He's a captain for the team himself. He's a leader in terms of the expectations and the standards that we have here. He's helping push those and make sure guys are reaching those. He's kind of a coach on the field. He's when the backup quarterbacks are in taking reps, he's standing back there behind them, and you can see him on film running around waving his hand. Somebody makes a good throw or makes a good catch. So he's a great team member. He's a great leader. He's very valuable, obviously, to our program in terms of what he does on the field, but carries a lot more weight of what he does off the field for us, and being involved in the community with community service and helping out and going around and really making sure that he's not only part of just our program, he's a part of our community. He's going to graduate in December, right after the season's over, and he'll have his biology education degree. And then if it works out to play again, keep playing, he wants to do it. If not, then he wants to get into a college program and become a graduate assistant and start working on his master's degree in secondary administration and get into the college world of coaching. He's got a bright future, whether that's playing or being a college coach or high school coach. I know he's going to have the ability to do those things. Logan's he's a Montana tough kid. I'm a Montana guy. I played high school football. I grew up in Montana. I was a rodeo guy growing up, so you got to have kind of a little different mentality, I think, and he kind of brings that to football. He's that Montana tough. He's also a guy that I have to convince you need to slide. He's kind of got that Montana tough mentality of, I'm going to try to run people over. I'm 6'5", 230. I'm a linebacker running around, and I always joke, you look at a guy like Troy Andersen. I mean, he's got drafted. He's Montana tough, man. I was cracking up at the video of, somebody took a video of him getting drafted and the announcement to the NFL. I think if Logan is in the same situation, it would probably be the same type of deal. Like, hey, good job, good work. Now you still have a lot to go do, so go do it. But I think that's just the type of guy he is, and like I said, just proud of what he's done and what he's overcome, and to get to where he is now. And there's still a lot to be done.
Ladies and gentlemen, your fourth and final male finalist is Logan Nelson. And now, again, my honor to announce the male award winner for the 2022 Montana Little Sullivan Award. This year's winner is Troy Andersen of Montana State. Now, Troy couldn't be here tonight. He's in Atlanta training, said that he wished he was. However, they wanted me to do a quick thank you on his behalf. On behalf of Troy Andersen, the Andersen family, and the Montana State football program, thank you to the Montana Amateur Athletic Union and the Little Sullivan Awards. Congratulations to each of the other 7 finalists this evening on your outstanding academic and athletic careers. You each have bright futures ahead of you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Troy Andersen. And one more time for all 8 of the finalists. You saw the list, you heard the coaches, you heard their teammates, you heard their friends, the honors, the accolades, the achievements, and they're just getting started.